Welcome to Deep Thought. Too many allow others to think for them. Too many do, and that's something I'm gonna stay on that. A lot of people just don't think. They don't think for themselves. They allow somebody else to do it, and then they follow them. When you following somebody else, they doing the thinking. You know, that's why I always say think on this most of the time say think on this at the end of my podcast on this channel. Well, sometimes I even hit that on other channels, because even then, because you even notice when I say, even when I give like advice, because I'm known for giving relationship advice, and I say this mostly to the men, but women could use the same advice that I always give. Go out and try what I'm saying. Go out and do what I'm saying. Yeah, I talk body game and everything, but I'm like, go hit the gym and find out for yourself. And like I said, in 20 years, I've yet to have somebody come back to me and say, well, the stuff you did, I did it and it didn't work. I always get people who read the stuff or hear it, but don't try it. They don't think it'll work. I say, did you try it? Did you think about it? Indeed, I've noticed when a lot of people have arguments. That's why I can't stand, at least on my other channel, when somebody puts an argument up and don't look like they're thinking. Even on this channel. But see, one thing I got to give to my supporters, all y'all supporters on this channel, y'all can think. I appreciate it. Even when sometimes y'all might have a one sentence response or comment, it was like, they thought about what I just said. Basically, I respect y'all. Not letting me think. Y'all listening to me. And y'all support me that way, but y'all not letting me think for y'all. Y'all thinking for yourselves. And that's the key thing. But see, that's y'all. y'all above the crowd. I'm just going to be real with you. I ain't blowing smoke up your asses or anything. Y'all above the crowd. Y'all showing something. Y'all showing, y'all putting some thought into it. Even when you might disagree with something I say, at least y'all putting some thought into it. I was like, okay, I can get with that. Indeed, just on that real quick, most of the stuff I do here is not telling you stuff, but to get you to think, to give you a perspective for you to think on it. In fact, I love it when somebody else adds their 2 cents to it because it helps expand my perspective. But whatever the case, y'all don't let anybody think for you. But we can't say that about most of the population. It's scary. It's scary when I hear somebody say, well, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. I remember, it was last year, somebody hit me up. No, somebody commented on something because it was, they had a detractor did a video and said, well, Rom was this, that. And a person came back over to me and said, yeah, they discredited what you said. And, I just said, well, what did they say or do to discredit it? And how do you know? Did you check out what I said? And they know. They just listened. Like they were lemons. They just sheep. It's like, damn, at least think about it. I don't mind you listening to somebody else's thoughts. At least check it out. Because, see, that's one thing I do. When I hear people argue, I listen to both sides. I don't say, oh, this person is right because it's who they are or something. I say, oh, they say it like that. Let me check that out. Everybody know, and people notice that with me. Y'all notice I don't jump into anything or any conflicts. Because my thing is, okay, just because this one person said it, I don't know what the other side said. And I don't know the origin of it. I got to see everything before I take a stand on it. Because I've had people do that for me. They say, well, somebody beefing with somebody or something. I was like, well, I need to know the exact situation. Maybe the person who I normally support is in the wrong in this case. And if it's bad enough, I take them to the side and say, hey, yo, I don't agree with this, and this is why. I'm going to give them a thought on it. But, too many others, too many people, they follow. And I'm going to tell you what, it's comfortable to follow. It's comfortable. Because most of my life, I wasn't the type to follow, but I actually tried before because, I listened. There's one of those moments I listened. And I listened to someone and I say, oh, let me try following what they're saying. It didn't work for me. And I'm glad it happened. Because he was like, well, why would you listen to something like that? I was young and I had to learn. Just as an aside, sometimes the best way to learn something is to fail at it. Seriously. The best way to learn something is to fail. That's why a lot of successful people have failed at stuff. Because then you learn what you can't do or don't need to be doing. But even then, even in failure, if you think about it, I say, oh, okay, this is why I failed. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. Because ultimately, look, people shouldn't allow others to think for them because every single person has a brain. Let me say that again. Every single person has a brain. If they exist, and even if they severely mentally disabled, underdeveloped, anything, they still got a brain. They still thinking something. They ain't thinking the same way as most other people, but they still thinking of something. All right? You still got your own thoughts on something, your own perceptions. And whether they right or wrong, because that gets into another conversation, they still your thoughts. You know, until you come across a reason to discard those thoughts. But the thing is, you got to think it, because I'm going to tell you what. The one place you're a master of is your brain. I don't care. You could be in the prison system. You could be forced at gunpoint to do stuff. But your brain is not under their control. Your thoughts are not, and I don't care where you are, what situation. Indeed, let's be real. A lot of people, there are quite a lot of people who might seem like they follow in the crowd, but only because for whatever reason they forced to, or they're getting along. They're going along to get along, but they still keep their own thoughts, and that's cool. That is what everyone should do. But too many people, they just go along because somebody said something. How often have you heard somebody do something just because somebody else said it? You know, they'll take some advice just because somebody said it. I say, did you check that out for yourself? You know, like I give you a great example. There's a lot of people who say, yeah, don't get married, right? And I would just say a person got to really decide that for themselves. Because just like you got one person who say don't get married, it's this and that, and 100 people, you get somebody else, they happy as pie. But even then, you can listen to both sides, but you still got to say what's right for you. You got to think what's right for you. Just because that other person, they had trouble, you don't know why they had trouble. You might not have the same circumstances. You probably don't. You don't have the same circumstances because you're a different person. And you got to think on it. You got to think, okay, is this good for me? Is this not good for me? You know? Why am I getting married? Am I getting married just to have companionship? Am I getting married for, steady sex? Am I getting married so I'm in the same household as future children? I want to have a legacy. Am I getting married because, I'm going to make all this money. I want to leave it to a blood relative, a blood descendant. And let me just say one thing about the marriage thing. Marriage is more of a business. It really is. It's more of a business. It's more than just being in love, which in Western culture is really just lust. So people shouldn't even marry for that, but that's just my thing. You got to look at the big picture. Why are you getting married? Why are you dealing with each other? All right, that's the marriage thing. But even then, even with all I said, you still got to decide for yourself. Even what I just said, I'm going to use that as an example. In fact, I gave it as an example. I don't want somebody running out and say, well, I'm going to do this because Rom said. You want to do it because it's like, okay, Rom said, let me sit back and think about that. Okay, that makes sense. But let me add this to it. Okay, let me take out, he said that, but let me take all that out. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Rom cool. Yeah, man. Cool, brother. But I'm going to put this in because I want to put it in because that's what I'm thinking, all right? And trust me, if you came back and say, Rom, yeah, man, I heard all that stuff. Okay, I took this part from you because I respect it, but this I didn't agree with, and this I want to alter. I'm like, damn, cool. Let me think on what you just said because then I'm going to listen and say, let me think on that. Maybe I got an issue with it. And then I might think later on, no, I don't have an issue with it. I'm good, but that's me. But if that works how they do it, great for them. I appreciate that. So, anyway, don't be that one who allows other people to think for you. So, anyway, that's all I got for now. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.